In this video I'm gonna share 6 tips that you can use to take better self-portraits, or just portraits in general, or just like better photography in general. Yeah. And it's tips that you can go out and use immediately. So right after you watch this video, go out and shoot. Or watch some of my other videos. That would be pretty nice too. And subscribe and like and comment and all that stuff, because that would be so nice of you. Tip number 1 is nailing your focus. This is probably the most important one, because a photo isn't really a good photo if it isn't in focus. Or you can make a good photo that isn't in focus and do like an artistic shot and all that stuff, but in most cases we want to nail the focus. And the easiest way to do it in self-portraits is just to buy a remote trigger and use that, because it's pretty easy to get the focus right in that way. But if you don't have that, you can just use this 10-second timer. And this is what I use most of the time, because I threw my remote trigger away, because I throw everything away. And the way you do it is that you place something in the frame that where you know you're gonna be, and then you focus on that, and you switch to manual focus so that the focus won't change, and then you just press the 10-second timer and run in that spot, and boom, you have a photo. A little bonus tip is to widen your aperture. I think that's what you call it. Pull the f-stop higher up so that the focal point, is that what you call it, is wider, so it's not just a small little thing you have to focus on, it's a lot wider, so it's easier to get it right. People underestimate poses so much. Like, poses are really what can make a photo an amazing photo, because it just makes such a huge difference. If you just have a boring photo of someone just standing there and don't really know what they're gonna do, it's gonna be a boring photo. But if you have an interesting pose, it's with someone doing something that you're not really used to seeing, and really being confident in that pose, the photo is just gonna be so much more professional looking, really. Try to look up different poses on Pinterest or something and see what poses you like and what you think stands out. And try to get creative in the location you have. I often figure out the pose when I have the location, because I think it oftentimes just looks better if the location and the pose just merge together. Find beautiful locations. I know it sounds like a no-brainer, but oftentimes when people take self-portraits, they like to stay in the comfort of their own home. But taking very beautiful photos can be hard in your own home when it's not like an amazing Airbnb or something. Unless you have amazing Photoshop skills, then you can basically just use a white wall and you can make anything. But us normal people, we should just like go out and find a beautiful location and use that. Like, Mother Nature has been pretty nice. She's given us some nice locations that are free to use. And move yourself around in the location. Don't just find a beautiful location and then just be like, okay, I'm gonna place my camera right here. Like, look around and figure out what the most pretty spot is, and then use that. Do more than you normally would do for a photo. And what I mean by this is that the photos that stand out are the photos with a lot of effort put into them. And it's really just that simple. And an easy way to like do more is to use props in different ways, and in creative ways, and really just try to think outside the box. A prop that I like to use, and I just think is genius, is plastic wrap, because you can use it in so many ways and it just adds a cool texture to your photos. And you can use water, like anything really, and just try to think outside the box. I mean, if you just like grab a photo and don't think too much about it, the viewer isn't gonna think too much about it either. Manipulating color is such an easy way to make your photos more interesting very quickly. And the way you do it is that you have to think about color theory and how you can implement that into your photos. And I'm gonna publish a video all about that in the next week, and how you implement it into your photos. But basically I use complementary colors a lot because it just makes the photo more pleasing to the eye. And if you don't know, I think you've heard about complementary colors. But if you don't know what it is, it's basically just the two opposite colors on the color wheel. So like that or those. And they just look good together. That's just fact and science. You can also match different colors, so like all the colors in your photo are in the same color family. So like, for example, red and oranges and maybe over in a little bit of yellow, then it's very, the colors are very similar to each other, and that looks pretty good too. But as I said, stay tuned to the next video because it's gonna be all about color theory.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just
I'm sorry. Where were we again? Oh yeah. I'm gonna post the video in next week, so stay tuned, subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified and all that stuff. It would make me so happy. But until the next tip. If you try to stuff too many elements into your photo, it just will be confusing. I try to tell myself to stick to about 3 elements in every photo I make. Let's take this photo as an example. The first element is the environment that I'm in, and the second element is me, and the third is the watering can. And maybe that's even too many elements because the tree surrounding my body could count as an element too. So maybe I should just have not included the watering can at all. This is an example too. Me, the plastic wrap with the flowers and the background. The flowers could be too much too. I really try to keep it limited. And I even sometimes edit things out of my photo. If, say, I were to take a photo of a huge environment, maybe there were houses in the background, then I would just edit those houses out to make it more simple. If you like this video, I have another video exactly on how to take a self-portrait, where I show you the 5 steps that I have developed to taking a good self-portrait. And yeah, here's my Instagram, and I really hope you enjoyed watching. I would love to hear what you thought of the video down in the comments below, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every single Sunday when I post a new video. And until next time,